welcome back. Markets still quiet, but Electra, which was one of the big gainers yesterday, is still continuing to do really well this morning as well, up another 7% of the stock. But we have with us a very special guest on an important day, where just ahead of earnings is Niraj Sheth. Nirav, I want to talk to you about the real estate sector. There's been so much of excitement around the stocks, at least in the last few months. And usually we've seen that, it's the financial markets that most often than not fuel the rally in terms of real estate. We seem to be the start of the cycle. The cycle usually lasts 7 to 8 years. We caught up with a few managements and everyone's very optimistic on the top line. But my question is on bottom line, right? How well are these companies going to do in this quarter? Because while sales are at a high, I'm not sure whether discounts are happening. Cost of land has gotten more expensive. Cost of construction has gotten more expensive. All that and more would it mean that real estate earnings may not keep up? Is that a concern you have, or you're thinking otherwise?
No, I don't buy into that view. First of all, it's futile to look at earnings in any one particular quarter for any real estate companies. They have a completed projects accounting method, which means that it's slightly technical, but let's leave that aside. What you want to focus in the cash flows. So even if when you talk about the cost increases, I think there are two big things that have happened in real estate, and a lot of this is hindsight here. There's a big macro reset because you got RERA and stuff like that, but also micro reset. And when I'm talking about micro reset, I'm talking about the fact that how the companies are being run. When you go back and you've been in the market for a long period of time, and when you look at the last bull market, you had an absurd amount of price increases. Funny prices being paid for land, and then you launch the projects and then take price up by 10%, and then your investors coming in. That process has cleansed, right? Now you don't see. You just look at the last 6-7 years. Your increasing prices are sub-inflation, somewhere about 5 or 6%. Right, your cost inflation is roughly about 4 or 5%. I think I was just hearing Mr. Lodha yesterday about what is the cost inflation. I'm going by that barometer, which means that this is a very, very steady growth rate. Which means that even the builders and the real estate community is trying to do a volume churn out and not necessarily sit on inventory and price gains. Price gains. So I'm not too worried. I don't see anything right now that tells me that there's a disconnect between the free cash flow growth rate or the cash flow growth rate and the volume growth rate that you're seeing in real estate.
Estate stocks, are you more constructive on than Nirav ahead of earnings? Or just generally, actually, it wouldn't be fair to just, pin it down to this quarter?
You're talking about sectors or within
the real estate sector?
Yeah, so we don't cover real estate right now. I don't have an analyst, so I won't be able to do justice to your questions. But like I said, it is more of a generic call. India's story right now is more of a generic call about sectors and broad spectrum of companies doing well, rather than trying to pinpoint one particular company. There are obviously differences in valuations and all.
Yeah, so that brings me to my next India story. Is it still the right time to take fresh entries into the defense space? They are expensive, they're stretched, but this is the big theme and talking points. If one hasn't acquired stocks in the defense pack, would you recommend it at this stage?
See, I think that, all of us have been ingrained to think like and value investors. All of us want to have margin of safety, which means that, we want to cut the cake and eat it too. You want to make investments and have 15% return, right? But you have to deal with the cards that are given to you. I completely agree that expectations are very high in some of the sectors like defense, the EMS space and all that. I still believe that if you approach it as a portfolio, which means that you buy a basket of companies, right, and don't have an excessive weightage within the portfolio, that basket will outperform the index for the next 5-7 years. You have to take a long-term view, but those opportunities are huge, right? And those addressable markets are real. You are essentially taking an execution risk, and there is no way for you to try and build that in right now on one particular company. I think a portfolio approach will help. That is the best answer I have got.
Nirav, you spoke about ahead of Q3 looking at the big picture and the sectors. So let me get that big picture from you. And I was also keen to know what you think about the auto space. This is a space which has been plagued with the story of First, passenger vehicles working, but not two-wheelers. Now two-wheelers are catching up, but entry-level passenger vehicle sales are looking a little tepid. Tractors impacted by rural. So little detail on that, and of course, the sectors that you think will perform the best in Q3.
Well, right. So our view is that the sectors will do well, but there'll be earning divergence between different sectors. So we are very, very constructive on two-wheelers, and we've been constructive on two-wheelers for a while. It's not that something dramatically has changed. Two things. You are 30% of the peak in 2019 in terms of volumes, right? So you are going to see a very, very strong cyclical recovery. A lot of that downhill in volumes was because my prices went up by 40% in that transition that happened from BA4 to BA6 and then this commodity price reset. As incomes catch up, you are seeing that volumes coming back. Within that, there is premiumization. Most importantly, you had this huge concern around the pace of adoption in electric two-wheelers and new competition. Incumbents have come back very strongly, right? So that is behind you. So two-wheeler is a very, very nice space to be in with no competitive risk. Now you come to passenger vehicles and you are exactly where two-wheelers were 3 years back, which means that, yesterday we just read about these Vietnamese companies trying to commit $500 million and getting into electric vehicles. So you got a new set of competition, and large player over there is obviously Maruti, and that you got Mahindra. There are so many variables over there, you don't know how it's going to play out, right? I cannot have any great confidence to say that, in next 5 years, this is where Maruti's margins and cash flows are going to be, Mahindra's cash flow and margins are going to be. When you don't have certainty, you try and beat down, you try and increase your margin of safety by saying that I'm not going to pay so much of valuations. So we see a risk to valuations in the passenger car segment. I'll lastly talk about commercial vehicles. Very interesting, but if you look at India's story is infra story. Railways is a big part of that. If you look at the targets of the government, very, very ambitious targets in terms of the recoup of the railway freight, right? Which means that you want to go from about, I think, 25% to 40% in 8-9 years. Serious investments happening over there, which means that you are not only probably at a peak of cyclical recovery in commercial vehicles, but there could be structural problems as well going forward. So there again, there's an element of concern because of what is happening. And everyone wants to reduce the cost of the logistics. That's a big thing for the government. Net, I'll single out two-wheelers, especially given the valuations and where they are in the cycle.
All right. And what you're saying on railways is absolutely correct. The infra boom that we're going to see after the DFC is completed and you have this rail makeover is going to be at a different level. Thank you so much, Nirav, for speaking with us. Great speaking with you this morning. We'll take a very, very short break, but as we do, all focus shifts to Vibrant Gujarat. The Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit 2024 kicks off this morning. You have visuals coming in of Prime Minister Modi now arriving there. He's going to be meeting the heads of state and inaugurate Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit. In fact, the inauguration is starting any second now. So there are a slew of bilateral meetings also lined up around Vibrant Gujarat. There is a meeting with the Prime Minister of the Czech Republic as well. And remember, you're already seeing a number of announcements as far as Gift City investments are concerned. In fact, you had Paytm also, which responded to that, a slew of others which came in today. So we'll be keeping an eye on all the news flow coming in from Vibrant Gujarat. Very quick break, but on the other side, we speak to Moldtek. The chairman joins us to talk about the company's capex plans. Stay tuned. welcome back. You're watching India Market Open. We're speaking now with Janumahanti Lakshmana Rao. He's Chairman and Managing Director of Moldtek Group. The company, which is into rigid plastic packaging, has inaugurated 3 manufacturing plants. That's the news flow coming in Panipat, that's Haryana, Tamil Nadu and Telangana. Let's just get a sense of what the plan is, the capex plan is, and what these plants are expected to do. Mr. Rao, can you hear me? Very good morning.
Good morning.
All right.
Good morning, Samina.
Hi, this is Tamanna here. Great to speak with you on the show. Let's begin with understanding about this expansion plan. Are these 3 plants going to primarily address the requirements of Grasim? Can you give us more details about it?
No, while the plant at Panipat and Cheyyar are meant to be mainly focusing on supplies to Grasim, the plant at Sultanpur, Hyderabad is completely a pharmaceutical packaging product manufacturing company. And at Panipat also, we are going to have food and FMCG, and later even pharma products will be manufactured in that location. Cheyyar will have, apart from ABG, edible oil packs and square packs as an additional production category. Mahad plant, which is going to come up in second half of the next financial year, would be completely again for Grasim. That is the 3 co-locations where we have an agreement with ABG to supply their plastic requirements.
Rao, I'll come in on the pharma space for a quick minute, just to understand what does the pharma industry contribute to your top line, or when can we expect this to start reflecting in your top line? And also give me a plan. What happens over the next couple of quarters? Where do we stand in the first quarter of next year, and where will we be in the next couple of quarters?
Yeah, we already have pretty good inquiries. We are coming out with a range of products instead of sticking only to the regulatory market. We are coming out with products like effervescent tubes, canisters, OTC bottles, and containers for regulatory market, that is export market. So all these 4 segments will be able to enter in the coming quarter. And hopefully in regulatory market, there will be long time duration for approvals, stability tests. So other products, other 3 category products can even start commercial sales starting from Q1. And probably the regulatory market would pick up from Q2 or Q3 because of the long-term stability tests that are required. But going forward, there will be growth in all these segments because some of these products are still imported. And with our technical background, mold manufacturing, and ability to control process costs, we think we'll be able to penetrate in packaging in a pharma packaging in a faster pace.
All right. Mr. Rao, give us a sense of your F&F space, your food and FMCG space, because the Satara plant ramp up, I believe, was a little slower than expected. How do you see that shaping up, and what would be your outlook for this space?
Yes, Satara plant is meant for paint pail supply to Asian Paints actually. That ramp up is because of the client's modifications and expansion plans out there. So that is now coming back to normal, almost normal, I would say. Previous year, we had a setback in that particular plant. Coming to food and FMCG, we are growing at good pace. But for the Q1, which has impacted because of intermittent rains, sales of dairy products and ice creams, where the main food product packaging is sold, are impacted. But in spite of that, we are in positive territory, especially in edible oil and cashews, that is our square packs. We have more than 50% volume growth.
Okay, and just can you give us a sort of a clearer picture on the Satara plant? Like you said, caters largely to Asian Paints and there were modifications required. By when do you see that completing and full capacity returning there, or full output?
Yeah, I think it's now almost reaching that level, back to normal level, but the expanded numbers also are coming in. Probably in next 1 quarter or probably Q1 onwards, we may even see growth coming over there.
So now, take me through what your order book stands at and your margins. So in the pharma business, pharma vertical, which you're of course trying to focus on, what are the margins over there? Are they healthier than the other verticals?
Much healthier in terms of EBITDA per kg, which is easy to compare. While our average is hovering around 38 to 40 rupees in all these segments put together. Of course, paint and lubes are less than 30. And in the case of Food and FMCG is close to 75 to 80 rupees per kg. So the overall average as of today stands somewhere around 38 in the current financial year. But that will go up substantially as the pharma numbers had, because pharma contributes very much close to 120 to 150 per kg. So even if pharma sales come to 5 to 10% of our sales, there could be a reasonable improvement in our overall EBITDA.
How much more would we expect? I mean, what improvement are we expecting on margins? You said about 37, 38% is what we are at. If pharma contributes 5 to 10% in the next couple of quarters, what will that take your blended margins to from 38% right now?
It's not 38%, 38 rupees per kg. That's the way we measure EBITDA.
So 38 rupees to 150 is what you have in pharma, you said?
In pharma. So even if they contribute 5 to 10%, if it reaches 10%, that might take a couple of years. Then it will certainly pull it up by 4 to 5 rupees per kg, say to 42, 43 levels in the next 2 years.
42, 43 levels. Also, in terms of inquiry, what is it looking like? Are you completely sold out in that sense? Because with your capacity coming on board, where do inquiries stand? Where do orders stand? Any long-term orders with current pharma majors or FMCG players?
Currently with FMCG, we have several long-term contacts. But with the ABG, now we have signed 5-year co-manufacturing facility agreements, which are meant for not only 5 years, they are for lifelong. And so that way the order book is very healthy. Going forward in pharma, of course, we are just a new entrants, but we are in touch with several top-rung pharmaceutical companies who are ready to give us an opportunity. And it's a huge market, as you all know. Pharmaceutical market, including the regulatory market, is more than 6 to 7,000 crores per annum and growing at around 7-8%. So that is a huge market, and our entry is significantly into 4 segments, should give us the ability to capture some of the needs of the pharma companies. One company might need canisters, one might need regulatory bottles, other company might need effervescent tubes, which are even currently imported. So some of these products would be of interest to our pharma companies in India. And this penetration will give us a long way, because what we are now setting up is hardly 40 to 50 crore investment, which can yield around 70, at the most 60 to 70 crores top line. That is not even 1% of the pharmaceutical packaging market in India. So even if we aim at 5 to 10% in the next 3 to 4 years, that will be a substantial number to our 800, 900 crore top line. So we are now very aggressively looking at pharmaceutical packaging, and our facility at Sultanpur is coming out with international standards of manufacturing, which is required for DMFI approval.
Mr. Rao, just one quick question. Would you maintain margins at 20-21% therefore, or could they be higher, or rather 19-20%? And would you believe, what's the growth rate target CAGR for the next 3 years?
See, the growth rate, we are aiming anywhere between 15 to 18% CAGR for next 3 to 5 years. Because ABG is going to expand and their numbers are very promising. Even if we have taken a factor of 50 on that, we have our thin wall food and FMCG project coming up at Panipat along with ABG. That will give us an entry into a northern market for food and FMCG. So coming from March 24 itself. So next 3-4 years, there will be substantial improvement in food and FMCG, ABG, and pharma packaging. So these 3 segments should give us at least 15% volume growth in the next few years. And coming to your question of EBITDA, which is currently around 18.5, 19, would reach somewhere close to 20%.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Rao, for speaking with us this morning on India Market Open. We're going to take a quick break, but all the focus now moves to vibrant Gujarat. And you're seeing some of those live visuals coming in. A big ceremony which begins anytime now, and a huge list of India's top corporates who are going to be speaking. Just an idea of the voices that you will hear over the next half an hour. So you should stay tuned to NDTV Profit. You will hear from Lakshmi Mittal. You will hear from the president of Suzuki Motor Corp. Mukesh Ambani will be speaking. Sanjay Mehrotra, Mr. Gautam Adani will be speaking. N. Chandra of Tata Sons, and many, many more. So we'll take a very short break, but come back on the other side. It's all about vibrant Gujarat.
A state blessed with the
Welcome back. Flat day of trade. The Nifty trades in the red with a negative bias. The Sensex above 71,400. Broader markets perform in line with the benchmark. Sectoral action mixed. Media stocks gain over 2%, while real estate, oil and gas see some losses. And India stands out from the rest. World Bank says India will maintain the fastest growth among world's largest economies. And Indian exporters bear the brunt of Red Sea crisis. Freight rates skyrocket. And the 10th Global Vibrant Gujarat Summit kicks off today. Key investment pitches eyed. Prime Minister Modi is all set to launch the Vibrant Gujarat Summit today. My colleague Janini is there to tell us what the mood is there. Janini, over to you.
We're here at Gandhinagar for the Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit, and as you can see, there is some tension palpable in the air. A day of festivities ahead. The Prime Minister will address and inaugurate the Vibrant Gujarat Summit. This is the 10th edition of this summit, which happens biennially, that is once in 2 years. Now, what we can expect from this particular, investor summit here, which is also slowly emerging to be a policy place, is that emerging technologies will be very much in focus. Ahead of me, as you can see behind, this is where the inauguration will happen inside the main convention center. Later today at 9:45, where the Prime Minister will inaugurate this. As of yesterday, there was also a roadshow in honor of UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed. He's one of the chief guests here. The Prime Minister has been meeting smaller delegations. He has been meeting CEOs of companies. More of that we can expect here on the next 3 days. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit, where we'll bring you all the action.
It is, Janini, where all the action is. In fact, we're just holding on till all the bigwigs make their pitches. It's another significant one. So much talk about Vibrant Gujarat. We've been building this up for the last couple of weeks as well. We've seen stocks react to the news as well. But Niraj, they've secured 37,000 crores in FDI in FY22. I mean, those numbers are significant.
Yeah, and 2023 as well. It was massive. The state signed investment packs worth about 86 billion with 58 companies in December 2023. Similar focus, renewable energy, green hydrogen, petchem. And one just shudders to think what happens this year, considering that so many companies around the world are talking about making an investment into India. I read I think it was a Bloomberg article, Samina. Correct me excuse me if I'm wrong here, but it is an article that I read overnight which said that Blaupunkt, amongst others, is also wanting to make India as the hub for exports in this region to diversify. Now, whether they choose Gujarat or Maharashtra or Uttar Pradesh or Tamil Nadu is anybody's guess, but one can certainly believe that a lot of companies will choose Gujarat as per se. There's a lot of talk about a large global auto company. Who knows, maybe they make an investment, and one doesn't know until it happens. But you're absolutely right. The numbers are staggering almost every single year at the Vibrant Gujarat Summit. And
let's not forget, with everything happening in Gift City, that is just going to tie this beautifully well in together. So while you've got corporates that are looking at this very strategic investment plans in Gujarat, Gift City is that Sone Pe Suhaga, like they would say, right? It comes in at a time when the excitement around Indian equity markets, Indian participation, FPIs, FDIs, who are now looking at India so constructively, with a number of institutions looking to set shop there, is another big reason why Vibrant Gujarat is all the more in focus this year. And Niraj, it was exciting, right? Only a few weeks ago when they opened up regulation around alcohol in Gift City, the amount of stock in real estate that was sold, which only goes to show that international companies, banks, financial institutions that are looking for a presence in India to take advantage of the FPI route are moving to Gift City, and Vibrant Gujarat back at it.
Yeah, very likely. I mean, Gift City gives access to India's international financial hub with great regulations.
It is our response to the DIFC of the world, and of course Singapore. Those were the two popular family office hubs, and GIFT City not far behind. And in fact, the Prime Minister has explicitly stated that he wants this to compete with DIFC in the UAE. But those are visuals on the screen. But we'll quickly take a check on the markets before we go on to sectors and stocks, because it is going to be earnings season in a day. Markets, like we said, are having a subdued day of trade. I wouldn't put it past the markets to see another day of profit taking emerging. 21,500 has been respected for the last 3 days by the traders. Today seems no different, 30 points lower, but intraday charts on Monday, Tuesday have shown that the markets have opened higher, consolidated, and actually sold off in the last few hours of trade. A similar sort of setup could be expected today as well. Sectorally, you're seeing profit taking in real estate. The sector was up 2% yesterday, so what you're obviously seeing today is some profits getting off the table. Media that sold off yesterday is a big gain in today's day of trade. So it is sectoral rotation, it is trade specific. There's no major trend that you're picking up on. I guess most investors and tactical traders also may remain on the sidelines ahead of the earnings season kicking in. Your top gainer on the street is BPCL, ONGC. Those are looking bad. NTPC also seeing some pressure. Auto counters are looking weak. Bharti Airtel is having a down day. The breadth of the market is a 50-50 for now. On the gaining side, SPI is looking all right. Adani, ICICI Bank, Reliance Industries, TCS are some of the other gainers. In the broader markets, though, Honasa is drawing my attention. The stock did see a block deal, on back of which you're seeing some euphoria once again on Mama Earth's parent company, Honasa, which is up about 5%. Network 18, 11%. Cochin Shipyard, actually the whole TV18 group is doing quite well. In fact, Network 18 is up 11%, TV18 is up 8% as well. Cochin Shipyard, Electra Greentech, which Niraj has been tracking and pointing out to in the last few days, continues to see some buying this morning. 6% high on Electra is what we have. Apart from that, Tanla Platform, Chalet, SBI Insurance, Borosil. Like I said, no trend that's emerging just yet. On the sell side, Trident is seeing profit taking. Alok is seeing some profit taking. Vedanta, on back of its bond restructuring plan being downgraded by Modi, is seeing some pressure. But today and tomorrow, and of course day after tomorrow, will belong to earnings, will belong to the IT pack. I believe HSBC has come out with a positive note on engineering research and development stocks. KPIT Tech and Cyient in particular. Tushar is standing by with more on that. Tushar, two very specific calls coming from HSBC.
Yeah, good morning, Samina. Yes, two very clear calls coming from HSBC right now. They're positive on Cyient and KPIT, and actually the wider ER&D sector in India, which also includes companies like L&T Technology Services, Persistent Systems. According to HSBC, the ER&D firms have actually shrugged off the headwinds that has affected the traditional IT companies in India. So the revenue for ER&D companies grew faster than IT services in 2023. While global ER&D spend may decline in 2024, opportunities are still abound in particular sectors such as defense, aerospace and automobile, and software. So companies who are involved specifically in these sectors stand to gain despite reduced spending in 2024. So HSBC has raised the target multiple for KPIT and Cyient, while has maintained a hold on LTTS. While so Persistent again a hold, Cyient is also a buy with a target price of 2,570, KPIT with a buy with a price target of about 1,930. So we are seeing that HSBC is still positive, largely positive on this particular sector. We have to wait and watch how these companies' earnings pan out in the next 1 month or so.
Indeed, the stocks, of course, are sulking, keeping up with the IT trend. 2% current sign, KPIT also not looking good, but we will see some activity, picking up on the stocks when they report, or ahead of their reporting. Well, it's all about vibrant Gujarat. It's all about GIFT City. Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Bhai Patel is speaking at the Vibrant Gujarat event. Let's listen in.
Renewable energy और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के प्रति हमारी प्रतिबद्धता ये एमओयू दर्शाती है। आर्थिक विकास पर बल देने के साथ गुजरात सरकार ने हमेशा सोशल सेक्टर डेवलपमेंट और क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ पर भी ध्यान केंद्रित किया है। देश के इस अमृत काल में आयोजित हो रहा यह वाइब्रेंट समिट हमारे लिए अमृत भविष्य का रोड मैप तय करेगा। इस अमृत भविष्य के निर्माण में हमारा सहयोग देने इस वाइब्रेंट समिट में विश्व के अनेक राष्ट्र जुड़े हैं। आज की समिट में उद्घाटन अवसर के मुख्य अतिथि हिज हाइनेस शेख मोहम्मद बिन जायद अल नाहयान प्रेसिडेंट यूएई की उपस्थिति का मैं ऋण स्वीकार करता हूं। आपको कुछ अचानक संयोग के लेकर इस कार्यक्रम के बीच से ही जाने की जरूरत पड़ी है। हिज हाइनेस, आप अपना अति व्यस्त अमूल्य समय निकालकर इस समिट के मुख्य अतिथि रूप में उपस्थित रहे, आपका फिर से एक बार धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगा। मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी को आश्वस्त करना चाहूंगा कि विकसित भारत 2047 को आपके विजन को पूरा करने में गुजरात ग्रोथ इंजन की भूमिका निभाएगा। फिर एक बार आप सभी महानुभावों का वाइब्रेंट गुजरात की वाइब्रेंट समिट में स्वागत है। धन्यवाद। भारत माता की जय। वंदे मातरम। जय जय गरवी गुजरात।
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Minister, sir, for your welcome address. As mentioned by our Honorable Chief Minister, sir, our chief guest, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Honorable President.
Right, that is a significant moment for India. The who's who of the world, not just India, marking their presence at the Gujarat Vibrant Summit. The Chief Minister, of course, addressing all participants there.
And I think we're now going to hear a high-ranking official from the UAE possibly talk, and we've seen the quantum of money that is coming from the Middle East into India and wanting to come with the Adiyas, Mubadlas, etc., trying to do their bit, investing into Indian companies. So this is a great show of vote of investment. Sorry, we won't be able to cut to the audio because we won't be able to understand the piece, but as long as you stick with the visuals, you know what this is. But guys, just the point, the quantum of investments that Vibrant Gujarat has been able to attract over the last few years is interesting, and the noise around what happens from some of the global companies this year would also be very strong.
It's not just them. You've got representatives from the UK, the Japan, the Netherlands of the world. So all the Eurozone leading nations also, and corporates in those countries will be marking their presence here. But yeah, the ties between you, and I think this is near the very first time UAE is making a presence at Vibrant Gujarat.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah. So just the importance, also another dimension to why it's important to have the UAE presence there, and the kind of, I would say, messaging also in it. Obviously, UAE, the Middle East and India's relations go back a long way. So that relationship continues from an investment purpose. Of course, a lot coming in today, but also ahead of the 2024 elections. This is a very powerful image that your chief guest of Vibrant Gujarat is from a Middle East nation, from a Middle East nation. So, you know, everyone looks at things from a different angle. This is one angle I definitely look at, because you're going into an election saying Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. This is a powerful image, Niraj. So there is more to this, and Vibrant Gujarat always has been about industry, corporates, investment. Yes, of course, we cover it from that perspective. But remember, no story has only one side to it, and you know, so you're seeing those powerful images on the screen. However, here we also have to look at the kind of announcements that have already come into investments in Gift City, and those are going to be the big ones to watch out for going ahead. You know, you have a slew of companies that have already announced that they are going to be investing in Gift City. Gift City is a pet project, I would say. One that has not in the initial years perhaps reached its full potential, which was to be an alternate financial center and destination for the Singapores of the world. But the recent announcement that you would allow alcohol beverages to be served in Gift City is believed to be something of a game changer. So the next couple of days...
Game changer?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, especially when you look at international delegates coming in, international businesses coming in, and it was received in a big way, Niraj. You want to make it feel on the, you know, on the same level or on the same experience of you're trying to supplant a Hong Kong or Singapore. You have to create that sort of a bubble within Gift City.
But not necessarily. You have DIFC where there's no alcohol unless you've got a license and unless you're in a big hotel.
Yeah.
So I would like to believe that India is not so far. I don't think.
No,
alcohol.
no, but the other aspect that some of the guys who now put in recent investments said that some of the laws that have been changed in the recent past have made a very important contribution. Okay, do we have to? We'll get to some voices as well. Let's get across to this feed.
But मैं मुख्यमंत्री श्री भूपेंद्र भाई पटेल जी, गवर्नर आचार्य देवव्रत जी, and मेरे साथियों and honorable dignitaries. पिछले साल सितंबर में वाइब्रेंट गुजरात की 20वीं एनिवर्सरी पे मैं यहाँ आया था और प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बताया कैसे आइडियाज़, इमेजिनेशन और प्रोसेस कंटिन्यूटी के आधार पर इस मेगा ग्लोबल इवेंट को एक इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज्ड स्ट्रक्चर मिला है। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने उस वक्त ये बताया कि कैसे वन अर्थ, वन फैमिली, वन फ्यूचर की सच्ची भावनाओं को लेकर भारत की प्रतिष्ठा कैसे बढ़ेगी और हर इंटरनेशनल फोरम में पूरे ग्लोबल साउथ की आवाज़ को भी मजबूत किया है। माननीय मुख्यमंत्री भाई पटेल जी, मैं आपको भी डेवलपमेंट को आगे रखने और इन्वेस्टमेंट्स को आकर्षित करने और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को स्तर ऊंचा उठाने के लिए बधाई देता हूं। गुजरात में फेयर, ट्रांसपेरेंट एंड पॉलिसी ड्रिवन गवर्नेंस की एक पहचान रही है और जिसमें मेरी कंपनी ने भी अनुभव किया है। स्टील किसी भी राष्ट्र के आत्मनिर्भरता में एक बड़ी भूमिका निभाता है क्योंकि ये इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट, अर्बनाइजेशन, रिन्यूएबल सेक्टर्स, ऑटोमोटिव इंडस्ट्री, इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स, डिफेंस, रेलवेज आदि में बहुत उपयोग होता है। ग्लोबल टेक्नोलॉजी को सर्वोत्तम रूप से लाकर हम हाई एंड प्रोडक्ट्स को डेवलप कर रहे हैं जो एसएमई से स्टार्टअप तक के स्टील कंज्यूमर्स को कम्पिटिटिव बनाने में मदद कर रहा है। गुजरात ने आज से 4 साल पहले आर्सलरमित्तल निपन स्टील इंडिया का स्वागत किया था और 2021 में प्रधानमंत्री जी ने और मुख्यमंत्री ने हमारे हजीरा एक्सपेंशन प्रोजेक्ट की भूमि पूजन की थी। मुझे ये बताते हुए गर्व हो रहा है कि ये एक्सपेंशन प्रोजेक्ट तेजी से बढ़ रहा है और लक्ष्य के अनुसार इसका फेज 1 2026 में पूरा हो जाएगा। आज वाइब्रेंट गुजरात 2024 के इस मौके पर हमने सेकंड फेज के लिए MOU साइन किए हैं। जब ये प्रोजेक्ट 2029 में पूरा होगा तो 24 मिलियन टन क्रूड स्टील प्रोडक्शन की क्षमता के साथ आर्सलरमित्तल निपन स्टील इंडिया का हजीरा साइट विश्व के सबसे बड़े सिंगल लोकेशन इंटीग्रेटेड स्टील प्लांट में से एक बन जाएगा। हमें पूरा भरोसा है कि गुजरात सरकार के सहयोग के साथ हम इस प्रोजेक्ट को अगले 5 साल में पूरा करने में सफल होंगे। हम केवल स्टील में ही नहीं है बल्कि रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन जैसे इमर्जिंग सेक्टर्स में भी निवेश कर रहे हैं। मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि हम देश के लिए अगला 20 साल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है और मैं आप सब लोगों को विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूँ कि आत्मनिर्भर और विकसित भारत के 2047 के विजन को पूरा करने के लिए हम रेडी हैं। मैं इन सब प्रधानमंत्री, मुख्यमंत्री, गवर्नर साहब, इन सब लोगों को मेरे को मंच पे आने के लिए मौका देने के लिए मैं आप लोगों का बहुत आभारी हूँ। नमस्कार।
सर, आपके महत्वपूर्ण संबोधन के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
That's Lakshmi Mittal talking about how okay, let's cut that audio, but that's Mr. Lakshmi Mittal talking about the investments that ArcelorMittal has done in Gujarat, how they have set up a plant for completion by 2029, and he's hopeful that in the next 5 years the project will be completed. We'll keep on hearing more dignitaries come and talk about their plans with regards to Gujarat. More importantly, it's not just about Gujarat, but what does it overall do to FDI within the country. States like Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, now UP, Maharashtra are leading that FDI pieces into the country, which is very, very important. We'll keep on hearing from other people about this, but I think this is an important thing. What we do is slip into a very quick break, come back and hear more leaders.
Welcome back. It's looking like an interesting day of trade. Like we said, it's flat, nothing much in terms of activity. Is that what we are seeing? Well, Toshiro Suzuki, President Suzuki Motor Corp, Japan, I believe now is addressing the audience at Vibrant Gujarat.
Export to Japan and European countries. Secondly, to expand our VEV production in future, Suzuki Group will invest 3,200 crore rupees in Suzuki Motor Gujarat to add a new fourth production line, which can produce 2.5 lakh units per year. This will increase the annual production capacity of Suzuki Motor Gujarat from the current 7.5 lakh to 1 million units. Thirdly, we will invest 35,000 crore rupees for the construction of a second car plant in Gujarat, which would produce another 1 million units per year. As a result, the annual production capacity in Gujarat will be 2 million units, namely 1 million units at SMG and 1 million units at a second new plant. Finally, as far as reduction of greenhouse gas emission is concerned, our effort will be through a multi-pathway approach. That means, in addition to vehicle electrification, we will offer multiple options, such as compressed natural gas, biogas, bioethanol, and green hydrogen. Taking advantage of India's animal wealth, we will start production of biogas from cow dung. Together with National Dairy Development Board and Balance Dairy, Suzuki has already started construction of 4 biogas plants in Gujarat.
All right, so that was the word coming in from Suzuki on investments that will be made in Vibrant Gujarat. In fact, a whole slew of them will be made, and you're going to hear from more business leaders coming up. Meanwhile, Jefferies and Morgan Stanley have also come up with a note on life insurers after December data shows growth softening for all life insurers barring SBI Life. Harsh joins us with more details.
Well, yes, Tamanna, as you correctly pointed out, weak set overall from the life insurance space outside of maybe SBI Life. That stock was buzzing yesterday. We did cover that. But let's talk about what brokerages are suggesting and how they are assessing the data that's come out. So first off, on the data itself, quick background. You have AP growth for the retail life insurance segment, which grew at 9% year over year. Mind you, October, November was soft months, 4% year over year combined over October and November. So 9%, definitely a bit of a bounce back, which was a relief. That's point number one. Private players continue to gain market share, 11% growth from private players. LIC grew 2% and therefore ceded some market share there.
All right. Harsh, I'm just going to come in and we're going to cut across to Vibrant Gujarat where Mr. Mukesh Ambani is speaking.
No other summit of this kind has continued for 20 long years and going from strength to strength. This is a tribute to our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Bhai Modi's vision and consistency. I have been one of the fortunate few to have participated in every single edition of Vibrant Gujarat. I have come from the city of the gateway of India to the gateway of modern India's growth, Gujarat. I am a proud Gujarati. Mane Gujarati hovanu abhiman છે. When foreigners think of new India, they think of a new Gujarat, Navu Gujarat. How did this transformation happen? Because of one leader, our beloved leader who has emerged as the greatest global leader of our times. And he is Shri Narendra Bhai Modi, the most successful Prime Minister in India's history. About Narendra Bhai, when you speak, the whole world not only listens, but applauds you. My friends abroad ask me, what is the meaning of slogan that millions of Indians are chanting, that Modi hai to mumkin hai. I tell them, most respected Shri Narendra Bhai Modi ji, when you speak, the whole world not only listens, but applauds you. My friends abroad ask me, what is the meaning of the slogan, millions of Indians are chanting, Modi hai to mumkin hai. I tell them, it means India's Prime Minister makes the impossible possible with his vision, determination, and execution. They agree, and they also say, Modi hai to mumkin hai. My esteemed friends, I will never forget what my father, Dhirubhai Ambani, used to tell me in my childhood. Gujarat is your Matrubhumi, and Gujarat should always remain your Karm Bhumi. Today, let me declare yet again, Reliance was, is, and will always remain a Gujarati company. Each of Reliance's business is striving to fulfill the dreams of my 7 crore fellow Gujaratis. Reliance has invested over $150 billion, that is 12 lakh crores, in creating world-class assets and capacities across India in the last 10 years. Of this, more than 1/3 has been invested in Gujarat alone. Honorable Chief Minister Shri Bhupendra Bhai Patel ji, today I would like to make 5 commitments to the people of Gujarat. First, Reliance will continue to play a leading role in Gujarat's growth story with significant investments in the next 10 years. Specifically, Reliance will contribute to making Gujarat a global leader in green growth. We will help Gujarat target to meet half of its energy need through renewable energy by the year 2030. For this, we have started building the Dhirubhai Ambani Green Energy Giga Complex, over 5,000 acres in Jamnagar. This will generate a large number of green jobs and enable production of green products and materials, and will make Gujarat a leading exporter of green products. And we are ready to commission this in the second half of 2024 itself. Second, Reliance Jio completed the fastest rollout of 5G infrastructure anywhere in the world. Today, Gujarat is fully 5G enabled, something that most of the world does not yet have. This will make Gujarat a global leader in digital data platforms and AI adoption. 5G enabled AI revolution will make Gujarat's economy more productive, more efficient, and more globally competitive. Besides generating millions of new employment opportunities, it will produce AI-enabled doctors, AI-enabled teachers, and AI-enabled farming, which will revolutionize healthcare, education, and agricultural productivity in the state of Gujarat. This will benefit every Gujarati in urban as well as rural areas, since to my mind, AI also means an all-inclusive growth. Third, Reliance Retail will further accelerate its mission to bring quality products to consumers and simultaneously empower lakhs of kisans and small merchants. Our retail business improves the quality of life of all households of Gujarat with better products and services. Fourth, Reliance will make Gujarat a pioneer in new materials and the circular economy. As a first step, Reliance is setting up India's first and world-class carbon fiber facility at Hazira. And finally, fifth, Prime Minister Modi ji has announced that India will bid for 2036 Olympics. In preparation for that, Reliance and Reliance Foundation will join forces with several other partners in Gujarat to improve education, sports, and skills infrastructure that will nurture the champions of tomorrow in various Olympic sports. Most respected Prime Minister Narendra Bhai Modi ji, before I conclude, permit me to articulate a conviction that resides in the heart of everyone in this hall and most Indians. As Chief Minister of Gujarat, you used to say, Bharat ke vikas ke liye Gujarat ka vikas. And that is how you made Gujarat India's growth engine. Now, as Prime Minister of India, your mission is Dunya ke vikas ke liye Bharat ka vikas. You are working on the mantra of global good and make India the world's growth engine. The story of your journey from Gujarat to the global stage in just 2 decades is nothing short of a modern epic. Today, and in today's India, is the best time for young people to enter the economy, to innovate, and to provide ease of living and ease of earning to hundreds of millions of people. The coming generations will indeed be thankful to Prime Minister Modi for being both a nationalist and an internationalist. You have laid a solid foundation for Viksit Bharat, India as a fully developed nation in Amrit Kal. No power on earth can stop India from becoming a $35 trillion economy by 2047. And as I see, Gujarat alone will become a $3 trillion economy. Therefore, I am confident, every Gujarati is confident, and every Indian is confident that the Modi era will take India to new summits of prosperity, progress, and glory. Thank you very much, sir. Jai Gujarat, Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat, Jai Hind.
Thank you very much.
That's the chairman of Reliance Industries, Mukesh Ambani, were talking about the contributions of Gujarat as well as all that it holds in store for going forward in terms of business, in terms of the economy, and the kind of contribution Gujarat can make in order to take India forward. Of course, there are plenty more speakers, plenty more luminaries to talk to us through about on this event of Vibrant Gujarat, and we will continue to get you more. Of course, for now, there are several factors which have been highlighted by the chairman of Reliance Industries, Mukesh Ambani, but he's very spoken about not just renewable energy and the kind of contribution that that can come through as far as India's power sector is concerned in order to fulfill the renewable energy target through the course of the many years. Let's not forget that India has set some very steep targets, notable ones, of course, at that, challenging ones, but with the kind of flow that we have, with respect to the expectations, of course, we'll continue to keep an eye on that one. But on that note, let's get in a quick view on the markets for now. Of course, we do know that the markets are currently flattish, but they have recovered from day's lows. And the question really is that how can we trade these markets going forward? And of course, for now, if we can very quickly bring up this, the futures and options snapshot, it is, of course, the banking Nifty expiry, and that's something which will be in focus. So the Nifty, of course, is flattish at the moment, and the Nifty Bank is marginally in the green. It's currently higher by around 80 odd points, and of course, it's standing at around 47,300, trading above that mark. We have seen some strength come since early morning trade, where there was a little bit of weakness. It began in the red and it's currently trending in the green. All in all, it seems to be like a quiet morning otherwise. Do remember that we had seen that little bit of volatility come through over the previous couple of days. And for now, of course, we are seeing that strength. Let's pull up what's happening with the future space. Perhaps we can pull up the Nifty future snapshot and take a look at how positions are being built. Not too much to speak for. For now, less than 1% increase in open interest towards longs as far as Nifty is concerned. And moving on, of course, we are also taking a look at the Bank Nifty futures and how that's panning out. And there, once again, we are not seeing too much increase in open interest. Would it be towards longs? Would it be towards shorts? Something that we're going to have to eventually know. But for now, we are looking at a significant premium, about a 0.5% premium as far as the futures go. Of course, early days in the January expiry. That said, let's also take a look at the options market snapshot as well, and where we are in fact seeing changes in open interest. This is, of course, distribution, and as I've been speaking about the Nifty 50 of late, that we are looking at a lot more writing around 21,700, 21,800, 21,900 strike calls. And on the lower end, we continue to see that resistance building, support building in around 21,500. And of course, as far as some of your most active options in today's day is concerned, well, that's up for you on your screen as well, as you can see. Let's move on to talk about the banking index as well, and see if there is any traction there. Of course, we are seeing most amount of call addition now around the 48,200 call mark. Remember that we are above that, at least the spot is currently above that. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that one. Perhaps if we can get in our experts at this moment, we have Dhwani Patel, founder of Finversify, and Ruchit Jain, he's a CMT lead research analyst at 5paisa, who's joining us on the show. Good morning. Thank you both for joining us. Ruchit, I start with you. Your view on the benchmarks today, how would you trade them?
Yes, very good morning, Agam. Well, the biasness seems more neutral today because what we've seen off late in last couple of 2 or 3 trading sessions, markets have corrected from the highs, but we have not seen any kind of aggressive short formations happening. I think just a bit of unwinding was there from FIIs, where the long short ratio reduced from 70% to around 62%. But yesterday, they again added some more long positions. So it seems that it's more of a time-wise correction or consolidation which could be there in the index in the near term. And as per the open interest data, 21,500 to 21,450 should be seen as a very strong support as of now. Even today, if we see, then 21,500 put option has significant OI of over 1 crore. And on the higher side, the call options open interest concentration is in around 21,700 mark. So I think this would be the broad 200 to 250 point range, which could be there in next couple of trading sessions. So not expecting any big move on the index on the either side, but I think just a range bound move, or what we say a time-wise correction within an uptrend. I think that's how we are reading the markets as of now.
Okay. Right. Well, Richard, stay with us. We will go back to the event of Vibrant Gujarat, where we understand Gautam Adani is the next speaker. Of course, this is where we are expecting him to highlight, what we can expect from the many businesses from the diversified conglomerate.
Shri Narendra Bhai Modi, distinguished heads of government of our partner countries, His Excellency Governor of Gujarat, Honorable Chief Minister Shri Bhupendra Bhai Patel, distinguished ministers, captains of industries, and my dear friends. Good morning. It is a privilege to address the 10th Vibrant Gujarat Summit. I take immense pride in having been a part of every one of these summits. Honorable Prime Minister, Vibrant Gujarat is a stunning manifestation of your extraordinary vision. It has all your hallmark signatures, merging grand ambition, massive scale, meticulous governance, and a flawless executions. It ignited a nationwide movement as all our states march forward, competing and cooperating to fundamentally remodel India's industrial landscape. The statistics of the past decade are remarkable. Since 2014, India's GDP has grown by 185% and per capita income by a stunning 165%. This achievement is unparalleled, especially considering this decade's geopolitical conflicts and pandemic challenges. Honorable Prime Minister, your achievements on the international stage are equally remarkable. You have taken us from a country seeking a voice on a global platforms to a nation that now creates the global platforms. The Solar Alliance platform, an initiative you conceptualized, and your leadership at the G20 platform set a benchmark for a more inclusive world order. Adding the Global South to the G20 is a defining moment in our modern history. Honorable Prime Minister, you don't just predict the future, you shape it. You have reoriented India to become the world's fastest growing nation and position her as the global social champion driven by the two philosophies of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and a Vishwaguru. And the best is yet to come. With your foresight in harnessing India's youth to build a Viksit Bharat and make India a fully developed nation by 2047, you have ensured that the India of today is poised to shape the global future of tomorrow. Honorable Chief Minister, at the previous summit, I announced our investment of over rupees 55,000 crores by 2025. We have already surpassed rupees 50,000 crore across the various sectors I had promised and have vastly exceeded our target of 25,000 direct and indirect jobs. Today, I commit to further investments. We are constructing the world's largest green energy park in Khavda district, Kutch, generating 30 gigawatt of our renewable energy over 725 square kilometers. Even visible is from space. We are expanding the green supply chain for an Atmanirbhar Bharat and creating the largest integrated renewable energy ecosystems. This includes solar panels, wind turbines, hydrogen electrolyzers, green ammonia, PVC, and expansion in copper and cement projects. Over the next 5 years, the Adani Group will invest over rupees 2 lakhs crore in Gujarat, thereby creating over 100,000 direct and indirect jobs. I am grateful for your support. It is my commitment that I will do my part to contribute to a Viksit Gujarat. Thank you. Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat. Jai Hind.
And that, of course, is Gautam Adani telling us about the kind of investments that he has in store with respect to, well, of course, Gujarat. And he's spoken about, in the latest, another green energy project towards which we are going to see funds being allocated from the Adani Group company. Do remember that last year he had suggested investment around 55,000 crores, and of course for now we will see even more. But in the latest update with respect to the Sony Z story, well, we understand Sony Group is continuing talks on the Z merger deal, which means that it does seem like that for now the deal is not off and that the conversations are still on. And because of that, we're starting to see a lot more traction in Z, perhaps about a short covering considering the kind of shots that we saw yesterday. So we have an up move around 4% for now for Z Entertainment, back above the mark of 260. We continue to keep an eye on that one. This is, of course, positive news and not really as concerning as the kind of reports that we were talking about yesterday. But on that note, let's get in, Dhwani, into the conversation. Dhwani, good morning. Apologies to come to you on so late, but let's take your view on the benchmarks as well.
Good morning, Agam. On the benchmark, what I see over here is that Nifty is not given much of a move. There has been a range-bound move that we are witnessing since 2nd of January. On the higher side, 21,700, and on the lower side, 21,500 is the 250-point range that we are trading into since last few sessions. And breaking on either side sets me either on the bullish or the bearish side of the index. But currently, we are seeing a range-bound move coming in. So it's an avoid on the index from my side. On Bank Nifty as well, we are seeing a good amount of profit booking coming in yesterday's session. Also, we saw slipping below the 48,000 mark, and currently also we are holding on to 47,200 barely, but overall the data suggests that this one should give a breakout on the lower side. On Bank Nifty as well, I am having a bearish view where 47,020 is what I'll watch out for. Having broken down above, below the same, I would have further bearish side trades coming in on this one, but as of now with the index, I would say stay away and keep the levels on watch.
Okay, stay away from the indices and keep the levels on watch. Very quickly, let's also take up the trading ideas from our experts. Ruchit, what do you have for us this morning?
Yeah, so a couple of buy recommendations on the stock-specific ideas. First would be a buy call in ICICI Prudential Life. So insurance space have been witnessing good long build-up since last couple of trading sessions. ICICI Prudential Life technically has formed a double bottom type of pattern, and over here I think the risk-reward ratio is quite favorable to create fresh longs. So at current levels, I would advise to go long with stop below 535, expecting near-term pullback move towards 570. And Info Edge would be my stock, second stock pick. But of late, we have seen at the start of the January series also some long formations are there with no stock price going higher along with the rise in open interest. So I think these longs are still intact, and the kind of structure the stock has seen with the supports around a 20-day exponential moving average. I think this series could be well for this stock. So one can go long here as well with stop below 51.90 and expect target somewhere around 5400.
Okay, and Dwani, how about you? What are you recommending to our viewers today?
So I have 3 stocks on my pick. 2 of them are, a positional call which you can hold it for the expiry as well, and one is a trader's call. So in the positional section, I have my eyes on Motherson. Motherson is looking positive from the current levels. 108 is a level that you buy it up at. The target is at 114, and 106 is an ideal stop loss that has to be maintained over here. The next call that I have is Cipla. Cipla is also maintaining a steady stance on the bullish side over here. We are also seeing that in today's session, we've got good amount of volumes playing out and even the open interest. So the cash data as well as the derivative data falls in line with each other. So you can go long on Cipla from the current levels. 1345 is the next target on this particular counter. The stop loss that you need to maintain over here is of 1296. And for the traders who want to take up a risky bet over here, RBL Bank is where I am keeping my eye on. The stock has taken a reversal on the lower time frame of 30 minutes from the bottom. So you can currently buy in at the market price, and for a target over here 288, and the stop loss that one needs to ideally maintain over here is of 277.
Right, Dwani, thank you so much for getting us those updates. We'll be watching out for that. On that note, would like to thank both Ruchit and Dwani for joining us and taking us through their views on the markets. And with that, it's a wrap on the F&O show, but lots more lined up. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit.